guys, how you doing? I just learned how to say ants in your pants in Spanish. Welcome. It's Friday. We're having a blast here, and we have a really fun topic to talk about. It kind of goes with the series, I guess we could say. It's almost a series. It's a project management series. My name is Ryan, and I'm joined with Orlando Lugo today.
Hello, I'm Orlando.
And we're going to have some fun. So today is about project management. Again, kind of, I guess, 1.2 or version of class 101, 102. And we're going to talk about some of the tools that really we use in a day in and day out basis and how they can whether help you or kind of just for you to be aware of them. As in, hey, whether your organization can benefit from them or whether, hey, we're looking for something to help us with this specific steps in our process. So with that said, let's begin. Okay, so the title of the project, Marketing, again, our favorite apps for project management with Orlando and yours truly. We talked last week, it was about simplifying this chaos, and we also went through these. Do you want to kind of summarize these quickly?
So I was in a meeting once with a salesperson, and he said project management was an obstacle to sales. And I understood what he was trying to say.
Yeah.
If we put too much process, then we can mess up sales and marketing. So our process basically is based on 5 things. We want to define the goal. We want to define what the project is all about. And then we put together a plan that makes sense for everybody. We execute that plan. We make sure everybody's informed. And at the end, we wrap up.
We check it out. Yeah, check it out. And I like that. I know that's funny that the salesperson said that. I'm not surprised. But it is also interesting that without it, their future sales will suffer.
Right.
So, because if they're selling whatever service or product, if the plan isn't nice and tight down the road, they're going to reap that nightmare of a lack of planning. So, interesting. Okay, so with that said, here's a tool that we use really on I'd say, I don't want to say intake, but really as a starting off process. And talk to us a little bit about Proposify.
So at that initial stage when you're trying to figure out what the project is all about, as a project manager, I want to know what's going to be delivered, so I can create a schedule based on that. I can assign people based on that. And so we have a tool that we use for our proposals, but that tool allows us to create certain sections in the proposal that I can use as a project manager. And normally what happens is you put together that proposal. The proposal will have a list of key deliverables.
Yep.
And then I go back to you after we've signed the contract and say, okay, Ryan, what is this? What's the detail based on this? But for example, number of pages and a website and things like that. So it just makes it very easy to transition from the initial stages of talking to the client and define the project into production.
Yeah, and I love that scoping, contract, all that thing kind of nice and tight package. It makes it where it's little question for what does this mean? So I really like a nice tight scope. Basecamp. So when we have the proposal, then we go over to Basecamp. Talk to us a little bit about it.
So the high level scope that you saw in the proposal is defined here. These are perhaps the in another project management tool they would be called like the summary tasks. Okay. These little boxes would be the work packages.
Yep.
So each deliverable would have a work package where you can detail some of the work. In Basecamp, which is the tool we use, they're called to-dos.
Yep.
Some other tools might call them activities or tasks. But it's basically a way of
assigning,
detailing, breaking down the work. I like Basecamp because these boxes I can move around.
Exactly.
Nowadays there's a lot of talk about Agile and Kanban boards and all that stuff. So Basecamp kind of fits that, and it just makes it a lot easier. And anybody can build a schedule.
Exactly. And I love that. And also I want to reiterate, there are a lot of tools out there. We're showing ones that we either use or are using, and that I'm not going to say we recommend, but they're good. They're decent. And there's a lot of good tools out there. So I want to reiterate that just because we use Basecamp, there's so many other good ones out there, but this is the one that we tend to go toward. So one other thing, here's kind of some additional as far as replaces Slack, replaces HipChat, all these things that it does all these things, and that's what I love about Basecamp from that standpoint.
And there's a project work collaboration,
yeah,
and it's a great tool for that, right? Because you're getting emails and notices and all that.
Yep.
Keep track.
Filestage is a tool we use really on the end cap, and really once we start actually creating the deliverables for whether it's clients or partners. Talk to us a little bit about Filestage.
Okay, based on the types of projects we handle as a advertising agency, that there's going to be these assets, right? So whether it's a web page, whether it's a banner ad, whatever it is that we're producing, We want to find a place that everybody can look at it. People can make comments to it. No comments are lost. Very easy to use. I've been the one putting those comments in.
Yeah.
You know me, I'm not exactly Mr. Technology.
Yeah.
So it was just very simple. It's very easy to use. I can put my comments in there. It goes to the next person. The person can review it, ask any questions, and it's just we're basically working like we were in the same room, right? And
it's
and then,
digital clouds. Everyone sees it. The transparency is there.
And then you can actually have there's another view of it, which basically is columns as to where that asset stands, whether it's being approved internally, approved by the client, or whether it's now ready for production. So it's just a very easy to use, very great tool to collaborate with.
Fantastic tool.
Yeah,
Fantastic tool. Harvest, I'm going to touch on this one real quickly. We use Harvest literally just for time tracking with our team and also making sure projects are on budget, scope, what have you. But it really just kind of pulls in all those elements. There are a lot of tools out there. I definitely recommend Harvest just because we can really align by groups, whether it's the design team, the business team, what have you, and kind of align projects based on that.
And I would add, you mentioned being so many tools out there. There are tools that actually can do most of this stuff in one tool, but sometimes they get a little bit complicated, right? And one of the mistakes a project manager can make is to manage the tool instead of the project.
Love that. Yeah.
So if the tool is very complicated, you end up spending more time trying to manage the tool and how I present the information, etc., and not really managing the project, which a lot of times project management is all about communications, collaboration, and sometimes you lose that because you're just stuck in that tool.
Agreed.
I'm not going to name the tool that I'm thinking about.
I know, there's a lot of them out there. All the project managers in the world know the tools that are out there that give us headaches, and unfortunately we're managing the tool just as much as we're managing the project. Okay, so I just want to go over maybe two more tools, and that's one is Easy Insight, and really it kind of gives us the bird's eye view of resource utility, our team, who's working on what, where are there potential craziness going on. Really helps us with that. Anything else to add on?
Yeah, it's a great match for Basecamp, right? So Basecamp has the detail. This one presents all the reporting based on those projects. So you can do it by project. You can do a whole set of projects or a portfolio, if you want to call that. We can see what the resources are working on. So if you get a new client or a new project, you can figure out, okay, who's available to do the work. So it's a great tool to take that detailed data that's in Basecamp and then be able to present it and make wise decisions.
Make sense out of it.
Right? So
exactly. Okay, so that's it really for the day. I did have one little special announcement that we wanted to call out. Thank you so much, Orlando, for Project Management Talk. This is our team, our business team. We love what we do. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Make sure to follow us in the comments below in the description on whether on YouTube, Facebook. You'll see some links to some of these resources. Make sure to also check out if you say, oh, I want to learn what they talked about last week in HubSpot or project management tools that we talked about last week. Make sure to follow us and check us out in the description and comment below. But with that said, I'm going to grab Orlando's camera. Going off the script here. And we have a special guest that actually, she's always behind the scenes. Sometimes she's in the camera, but it's her birthday tomorrow. So I think we should say happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Cha, cha, cha. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Natalie. Happy birthday to you. Okay. So Natalie is behind the scenes, producer / director, always killing it. And I just want to shout out that it is her birthday. Thank you so much, Natalie. So, okay. Thank you guys. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment, tag, reach out to us. We love collaborating and talking with you more.